Oh man, I can't even believe it's been about a year ago since when, well, that white teddy just died. Thanks to Mario and Sonic that actually told me about this. So God knows of what we were gonna do for the sake of this year this time around. Well, I do definitely know for the fact that we don't think we can probably do the unboxing video for this year because well, it's a shame that without White Teddy with us, then there's not much we can do for this year's Christmas, I'm afraid. But at the very least, that Proto Man, along with the others, are planning something. And that is how that we actually did manage to always attempt to do the Christmas unboxing video specials in the past. Interesting. How intriguing. Yeah, I think I've already been for this point. Remember that on 2018 Starlight Glimmer. Yeah, I know that. Oh, it's a shame that I just missed out on this whole entire fun of all that, unwrapping presents and all that stuff though, but even though that, without White Teddy, there's nothing we can do. Yeah, I think I missed that as well, so yeah, that seems kind of sucks. Yeah, so did I, especially we didn't exist until in the beginning of the you know what. Hey guys, sorry about that. I managed to do a bit of a speech about, the one. It's been about a year ago since when White Teddy just died. Oh, how come did he die? Or did you mean she, Mighty? Oh, sorry. Due to a number of things, heart conditioning and well, suffice to say, actually, no matter what though, I think I'll discuss on that point later, Mighty. Okay then. Brother man, do you mind if you fancy trying to have some fresh air for a bit? Of course, bro. But we'll be back. Yeah, so I'll just, go with him. Hey, sorry I'm late. I just got back from work. Oh, hello, Pac-Man. Say, how come there's two of you? What do you mean, there's two of me? Ah, you're a faker, aren't you? Excuse me, faker, because I am the real Pac-Man, and I am just gonna be in charge for this whole TheMaxiToys crew. No, I'm the real Pac-Man. I am the real Pac-Man. I am the real Pac-Man. Okay, so who's the real Pac-Man then? I am. Don't listen to this imposter for you, because he's been trained by the forms of Spooky or even, well, Talkman or anyone else out there, and there's nothing you can do about it. Why did you do this? Oh, that hurts. Oh. Tell you what, the other me, why don't you, if you just go back into that, the legendary mirror pool? Fine, I'll just go. Or how about a kick will do? Ta-da! Farewell to your reality, because I am the real me, because after all, I've managed to escape from the evil clutches of that very terrible redesign of me, from those, the legend of the mirror pool, according to what Twilight Sparkle and Pinkie Pie mentioned to me about. Yeah, sorry about about earlier ago. It's just that, I have to deal with the forms of that fake Pac-Man. Oh, I see, because the forms of that, what I've noticed is actually based off from the TV series called The Ghostly Adventures, or the Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventures. Yeah, I know. But on the plus side, you look very recognizable from the video games. Thank you, Starlight Glimmer. In fact, I actually, become like this for a very, very long time, since when Pac-Man World 1 first came out. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's the nice look of you. Yeah, thanks, Ray. Yeah, and quite, fashionable and dazzling as well from the looks of from you. Yeah, no biggie, Trixie, the actual greatest powerful, pony of the ball. Hey guys, I'm back again. Yep, same here. Hey, long time no see, Pac-Man. Yeah, long time no see, Mega Man. Yep, In fact, you've gone a lot more recognizable and taller than the likes of how it does it back in, let's not mention about that. Oh, what makes you say about that? Because you somehow... You remember that one time when, you and, Mario and Sonic and, the fake Pac-Man goes with you in, Greece? Or something like that? Yeah, what about it? You somehow managed to able to have a very awkward relationship between the, well, for instance, the other me than, my real me. Christ, I forgot about that. Don't worry, I'll try to take care of him. No, problem. Man, that's okay, because, oh, what do you mean? Well, because basically, he somehow goes back onto the legendary of the Mirror Pool, or the legend of the Mirror Pool. Oh yeah, thanks for pointing it out, because I've, heard about the legends about it, but, it's best be sure not to go there. Yeah, because, you know, Pinkie Pie did tell me everything about it, so, yeah, you get the idea about that. Oh, shoot, I just realized I must able to actually just warn Twilight Sparkle and, the rest of my friends about the Christmas carols until, well, specifically today, which is the 25th of December, so I think, for the sake of U6, I think U6 will be in charge for, something different for a change for this year. Okay. So, yeah, I'll, see you guys at some point as soon as you guys done. See you then, my great and powerful assistant. You too, Trixie. Have fun. Yep, of course we will. Yeah, what was all this commotion anyway, for the sake of this whole, oh yeah, what are you trying to mention about, Mega Man? Oh yeah, with the whole, White Teddy, just managed to die for 2 reasons. One is the heart condition, and... oh, coronavirus.
Ooh, you said a bad word.
Oops.
Before we get jinxed. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong.
I should not have said that. That's okay, because, well, after all, things gets a bit slightly better, but slightly slower, so, but hopefully, you'll just get the benefit for the doubt. Yeah, I can't even believe that 2021 is actually getting really darn close towards the end, so, yeah, why don't we just, start with the video, shall we? Of course we can. So hello everybody, it is I, the one and only Mega Man here, the Blue Bomber, right here, along with his brother, Proto Man. In addition to us, we have Ray the Flying Squirrel, and as well as Mighty the Armadillo as well. Welcome you all again. And of course I am Pac-Man here. And the one and only, the great and powerful Trixie is here for the sake of this whole entire, well, Christmas video. At least I've managed to join in. Despite the fact that the unboxing video is not gonna happen. Yeah, I know that. So instead of the forms of the unboxing video for the sake of this year this time around, because we figured that you guys even remember back in the forms of it last year that I believe Maxi has already mentioned about, that we'll do something completely different, and that is the forms of our Christmas unboxing videos ranks. Which means it actually starts from the very bottom all the way to the top. Well, at least whenever we look back on the forms of certain videos. So, yeah, I can't believe it's been about, well, technically 10 years ago since when Christmas 2011 unboxing video was up. Yeah, because for what I remember, that is actually... well, we'll discuss on that later, Pac-Man, once we get the actual list started, so... yeah, I think it's probably for the best, especially noticeable after looking back on the entire retrospective of our... well, for what I've remembered, that you two, Proto Man and Mega Man, do already know about the Christmas unboxing video specials. Well, technically we've already been since 2018 one. Yeah, that's probably true, Proto Man, my bro. So, anyway, so let's get this thing to it then, and although before we get into the actual stuff on this, however, though, is the fact that, relatively speaking, this is entirely in my opinion, or our opinions I should say, for our ranked video for the sake of our TheMaxiToys Christmas unboxing video specials. So, And I'm not exactly sure that the views count is actually depending on the forms of the views count and stuff like that. Well, we'll just say as soon as we're able to actually just to go ahead and actually, no matter what though, I think you might be right. Oh, am I? Yeah, I think it's depending on the views count as well. So yeah, I think we should probably get this thing started. So with that being said, let's get into the forms of the TheMaxiToys Christmas Special 2021. And this time it's going to be the Christmas unboxing video ranked. So let's get our Mega Buster going, and we can probably get started with the ranked. Believe me, this particular list itself is actually a lot difficult than it looks. But I did manage to try my best today, but to actually just to put in like so much script and also just trying to make a decision between the actual final results to the forms of the, well, the previous efforts. So, and like what I said before is the fact that, well, we're going to be ranking all of those Christmas specials from worst to best. Now, keep this in mind, not every single video can be perfect by any means. It's just something that I usually just, well, enjoy from time to time, ranging from the forms of the good old times to some worse times. So because of that though, this particular list is going to be, the majority is going to be more accurately like Christmas themed, nothing related to Christmas video games here and there, like no Christmas nights or no, you know, character skin from the likes of The Simpsons Road Rage and all that stuff. So, as a result though, the entire list are specifically based off from how much views that most of these videos have. So like, for instance, that if one of those videos got the lowest amount of viewers is actually getting on the bottom of the list to the most views count for the actual winner. So yeah, I'm gonna be able to actually describe those specific Christmas specials so I can able to talk to you guys and just try to think about them and what's my final thoughts after rewatching those specific Christmas videos in the past. So, but as a result though, this is all depending on the forms of few categories, ranging from the introducing intro to Christmas gifts, and especially noticeable with the list of amount of characters. So yeah, as a result though, is the fact that with the actual more different approach to the table, for the sake of the forms of how this particular things itself goes. So yeah, because with that being said though, is the fact that I'm actually really looking forward to doing this list for you guys, especially noticeable about the fact that you can probably be able to see why, that some of the actual parts itself gets a little bit more traditional or something, I have no idea. But as a result though, yeah, let's get started with the forms of the actual ranking video for the sake of the majority of the TheMaxiToys Christmas specials from 2011 all the way up to 2020. So which one is considered to be the worst and which one of the specials is the best? We'll see and find out. So yeah, let's get started with the forms of the ranking video. So let's get on the forms of, well, the worst installment to the list. So let's go. As you may have expected this list, but yes, Christmas 2012 unboxing videos takes a 10th place position due to the fact that, well, there's something about this particular special just feels a bit really off for some extent. First of all, the actual quality is gone a lot worse than the forms of how it does it on the actual other specials on the list. But that's not to say because this was actually recorded by the forms of in a different camera, by the forms of Sony Handycam Video 8, but also, get this, is the fact that the entire script, as well as the forms of that very random intro, which is nothing related to the White Teddy, by the way, but also is the fact that the entire sequence is rushed. And also, the forms of the Christmas gifts is okay, but nothing that spectacular either. So, I got to admit though right away is the fact that there are only 2 items I was really excited about, whilst the majority of them is not the greatest selections out there. like quite a few from the likes of the 3DS, some of them for the Xbox 360 front, and even an introduction to the Wii U game. So as a result though, yeah, the 3DS ones, the LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean, the video game, nothing special for my part, even though, despite the fact that I was usually trying to get around to usage on that. And so applies to the forms of another LEGO game. Actually, kind of think about it, the majority of any other games that I got for this year's Christmas are entirely almost based around on LEGO, so as a result though, yeah, it doesn't help that much better for the sake of the forms of the entire, the Christmas presents out of the doubt. There's also LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes, which is basically, it's like the downscale version of the console game, which I have no idea why I managed to get this. And of course, everyone's least favorite Paper Mario game, Paper Mario Sticker Star. I have no idea why I was excited about this back in the day, but after I play it for a bit, it's not the greatest compared to the classic Duo games, as well as the pretty good Super Paper Mario, but either way, that's pretty much just the end of story for that particular game as a result. So yeah, you probably get the idea about some people complain about it. And there's also Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2, which is likely the weaker Epic Mickey game because, well, speak for itself, it is not that good. So because of that though, I have no idea why we've managed to get this. And plus it was on the Wii, so as a result though, I somehow managed to pick a bit of a superior version of multiple versions of Epic Mickey 2. And of course, we actually got ourselves the only Wii U game on this Christmas, and that's what it appears to be, New Super Mario Bros. U, which, to be quite frank, I was really hyped about this game back in the day, despite the fact that we haven't got the Wii U back then yet, until I managed to able to use the majority of my Christmas money to able to spend it on otherwise. What's cool about this is that it comes with the actual entire map itself, which I think is the best thing about it. And also we got Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed for the Xbox 360, another one of those great Christmas gifts I've managed to got, back in the day that is. And also we got back to the actual randomness again, such as LEGO Batman the video game, which I don't normally play it as much, and also say applies to LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures, which oddly enough we got the American version which actually features a platinum hit, so kinda interesting though. And also we got ourselves 2 random DVDs which are Ice Age 4 Continental Drift, which is not that good, even especially noticeable compared to the first film and as well as from that. And also we got ourselves The Penguins of Madagascar Operation Atlantica, which is pretty cool, especially noticeable. I was a huge fan of the Penguins of Madagascar TV series. But aside from all that stuff though, everything about this particular special is just wrong. Like the actual title image, ugh, it looks disgusting. It's almost like white edges all messed around with the actual background. I mean, it's just a mess. And also the actual, the camera angle, and as well as from that, the actual setup of this recording is rather awkward, which I must admit though right away. And also with the absence of White Teddy is nowhere to be found, it's just all about Piglets talking over her. So no, this particular special is the worst installment of the series, so I highly suggest not to look back onto this video, mainly because it is way too outdated, and also is the fact that the actual commentary is way off, so, but trust me, there are quite a lot of Christmas specials out there for TheMaxiToys, are actually far more superior to this, but still, whatever. Kicking things off in number 9, we have ourselves Christmas 2015 Unboxing Special. This does have a similar issues as the forms of 2012 installment, but for one noticeable thing this time around compared to 2012 is that they managed able to bring back White Teddy, which is a good thing because we need him for the majority of the special. But aside from all that stuff though, the intro sequence of this entire special is not exactly all that great. Mainly due to the fact that it's basically the exact same thing as in 2013 and 14 versions, except the fact that it feels far more lacking this time around, which meaning all we really got is just a bit of a small montage, and of course we gotta get ourselves the forms of a, well, a very simple font, and there's no picture image after that this time around, so as a result, it's just lacking. Speaking of lacking though, the present gifts for 2015 is not that great, apart from this amazing one over there as you see on screen, but we'll get to that moments later. For games wise, we have Chibi Robo Zip Lash, which is crap and rubbish, especially noticeable I give up on Wall 3, I can definitely see why a lot of people hated that game. And Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is basically the bare bones Mario Tennis game, which is speak for itself. And also we got The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, which is not that great for a Zelda game in my opinion, but that's only because it only requires multiplayer in order to play the game completely, either local or online play. But the greatest Zelda game ever, specifically on the Wii U of all things, Hyrule Warriors is definitely a good game, which later on gets ported over 2 times, which are the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch, which honestly, the Switch version is more superior. And of course, the biggest highlight for the gifts department, we have the Toy Story Box Set Trilogy, which contains Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, because it's Toy Story, what do you expect? Now, of course, the actual recording setup, it's kind of like the other entries, but it feels very awkward at the same time, mainly because of how the fact that you will be spending most of your time trying to actually just to realize that White Teddy is always seemed to have struggling trying to unwrap the actual cellophane for certain games. Like, here's an example for Hyrule Warriors, as you can see on right here, which, mind you, about the fact that, well, it is entirely brand new and sealed throughout. I know for the fact that that particular game has been out for quite a while, but aside from all that stuff though, yeah, this particular special wasn't exactly all that great, I must be honest, but a bit step up from the likes of how it does it in 2012. Like, for one thing, the room itself is quite nice, in all things considered, especially noticeable how tidy that looks, and also is the fact that, well, the actual, 2 gifts usually just managed able to make things a bit interesting, both Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U, as well as Toy Story Trilogy DVD box set, which, as I mentioned this before, I always enjoyed those a lot. But as a result though, yeah, when it comes to everything else for this particular special, well, aside from the fact that we are far lacking with the actual picture imagery, like I said before, seriously, 2015 is actually gone a bit rough around the edges for not only for everything else, but also everything Nintendo related as well, mainly for like other, you know, dark gauges, I suppose, for the sake of other titles. Now, of course, we can never forget the characters in this special. We have Daffy Duck, Sylvester the Cat, Joy from Inside Out, Applejack, and of course, we can never forget White Teddy. So, aside from that, yeah, this is pretty much a mediocre version of the likes of 2012 counterpart, but it is a bit better than the forms of how it does on the previous installment in my opinion, mainly because, while it does have some interesting aspects, but aside from that, yeah, nothing really sticks out with me as much as I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, that's pretty much as far as we can say about 2015. It's like a mediocre special, but nothing more. And now we get into the forms of somewhat of a decent special, which appears to be Christmas 2014 Unboxing Special marks in number 8 spot. It does have a bit of a slight issues, just like the forms of the other 2 spot on the list, but I have to admit though right away is the fact that the 2014 version, it feels a bit slightly better than the other 2 installments, mainly because, well, for one thing, that we actually bring back Mario and Sonic into the actual TheMaxiToys department. But as a result though, that we still got ourselves a familiar intro sequence, just like the forms of how it does it back in 2013, but this time around though with a, a nicely jolly Christmas music vibe to it. So yeah, that's pretty much as far as I can say about it. For the actual intro sequence, it's okay, but nothing predictably that special either. I mean, basically, it's just all about Mario and Sonic, along with White Teddy and Rainbow Dash, of all things, managed to gather around and celebrate Christmas Day. And speaking of Christmas Day, we got ourselves some very good gifts, which are Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix on the PlayStation 3. Not only does it contain likely, the two best Kingdom Hearts games on this entire compilation, but also we got ourselves a pretty mediocre Kingdom Hearts movie adaptation for it. And also we got ourselves Ultimate NES Remix. It's basically the first half of NES Remix 1 and the second half of NES Remix 2 into this 3DS system. And of course, we got ourselves the superior Sonic Boom Shadow Crystal for the 3DS. Yeah, eat that, Rise of Lyric for the Wii U. God, that game sucks. And of course, we can never forget the biggest highlight of the gifts department is the majority of the Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U items, ranging from the GameCube controller, the first ever amiibo, which in this case we have Luigi, and of course, we can never forget the game itself, which is pretty awesome back in the day, but I'm used to with Ultimate at this rate. Well, originally we were expecting to get the GameCube controller adapter with the Wii U and all that, but back in the day, it is skyrocketing in price. I mean, look at this. But aside from that, the picture image is actually alright, except with the duplicates of Rainbow Dashes on screen. And also, the method of this particular recording setup is, well, kind of the same boat as the forms of how it does it in 2015 version, but I have to admit though, the lighting effect is actually a little bit more better than the forms of how it does it in 2015 version. So because of that though, and the actual characters, as you probably already know, they join in this particular year of Christmas. Of course, we have Mario and Sonic and Rainbow Dash, and of course, White Teddy, just like in the previous Christmas episodes. But aside from that, everything else about this particular Christmas special is decent. I mean, nothing that particular groundbreaking or anything else to be more specific. Although, I have to admit though, the biggest highlights for me though, when it comes to Christmas gift departments, which are Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix, because I was really looking forward to replaying Kingdom Hearts 2 again, but on the PlayStation 3, and of course Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. So all in all, the Christmas 2014 special is pretty decent like I said, but I kinda wish they were able to actually have something like a bit more superior gifts, like, I don't know, maybe added in some very obscure titles, or something like that for that matter, but it knows what it is. So, yeah, it's a, well, not much else to say about this installment. It's decent, but I could have gone a little bit more better than that. I know, 2020 is an absolute suck when it comes to that particular year, but thankfully for Christmas 2020 unboxing video special, it's alright. I mean, it's not good by any stretch of your imagination, but aside from that, it does have some interesting highlights, like for instance the intro starts off a little bit different because, well, as you notice, that White Teddy suffers from not only heart conditioning failures, but also you know what. But instead of that, Mario, along with Sonic the Hedgehog, along with the forms of Piglet, Mickey Mouse, and 3 different colored Toads ranging from yellow to red and blue, but also Toadette and Fluttershy and Daffy Duck are now going to be in charge for the actual entire Christmas unboxing video for a change. And also that Wario and Waluigi made their brief appearance on the actual intro, as well as Maxie right here as new forms of the Doctor. Well, along with a really cool Super Mario mask. And believe me, for this particular episode alone, almost reminds me of the majority of the mode of Toad Scramble mode from Mario Party Star Rush. Now when it comes to gifts though, they do have some interesting lineup that we've got, like for instance Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory to complete the entire series on the PlayStation 4, and also we've got the greatest game ever, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, as well as 2 Knights games, both on the Sega Saturn, but most of the conditions on those 2 games wasn't exactly all that great. But apart from those side of things though, the coolest thing about it is the fact that I recently made some very peculiar standard DVD cases between those both games, so that way the discs won't get scratched easily. And a very random bizarre gift that we actually got, which appears to be a Sony camera, and a pretty good gift like a WALL-E DVD, because I haven't watched the film for donkey's years. And also we got the Fast and Furious 8 movie collection, just to feel like because of the films of Fast and Furious 9 coming up. But also I'd really love to be able to rewatch all 8 films again, like for instance the Fast and the Furious, as well as Too Fast, Too Furious, then the Tokyo Drift, and Fast and Furious 5, 6, 7, and of course 8, which, yeah, speak for itself. And of course, the biggest highlight for me though is the Game & Watch Super Mario Bros. Edition. I mean, look at it, it's so cool. And of course, we can never forget that the forms of how the factor with the ending sequence is actually pretty cool, but also kind of emotional at the same time. Like, we got ourselves out of nowhere a custom-made DVD, which is pretty cool, and a brief history of the forms of looking back on the past years for the actual Christmas timeline for the TheMaxiToys unboxing video specials department, which, I have to admit though, this particular moment right there of looking back on the past few years in black and white is actually a pretty cool effect, despite the fact that after we sift through some miserable years to an okay years, and even some of the superior ones, which we'll get to more about it until whatever we get into on the actual, like, another spots on certain lists. So I suppose I should probably mention about another great thing about this particular special, and that's what appears to be the photo picture, which I have to admit is one of the best. But aside from that though, is the fact that the entire special, despite it has some bit of glaring issues, to be more specifically, the majority of the forms of the entire special is going to take place during the pandemic, and also there's some bit of script. It does have some rushed parts here and there. But aside from all that stuff though, I think this particular episode itself, considering this is the grand finale of its entire Christmas unboxing video series, it ended off in a really good note on a side note. So overall, I think this particular episode, despite how miserable 2020 was, I think to me that Christmas 2020 unboxing video is actually alright. I kinda wish they were able to actually have some more backstory to it, especially noticeable like when White Teddy gets those things. But apart from all that stuff though, despite it have some glaring issues, I think this installment is alright of the actual entire list. Ah yes, the one that started it all when it comes to the Christmas unboxing video special, and that what appears to be Christmas 2011 unboxing special. Despite it's a bit outdated, but aside from all that stuff though, and also the entire quality wasn't all that good, but it does have some very interesting side effects when it comes to the fact that with this particular special alone. Like, for one, it only introduced 2 characters, which we have White Teddy on screen, as well as the forms of Chip, from the likes of Chip and Dale TV series or something like that, as a Disney character. Now, apart from the fact that with this entire setup is not that good, but the majority of the gifts are excellent, even though despite the fact that there's no introductioning to this particular special, because this is the first entry in the series when it comes to this particular Christmas specials alone. So as far as the actual gifts that we've got Disney Pixar's Cars 2 for the Xbox 360, which I will say, it is a bit better than the forms of how it does on that crappy movie, but apart from those side things though, I managed to get this for the sake of reasonings. And also we got Rio for the Xbox 360, because it reminds me of not only for one of my favorite films ever, but also reminds me of playing Mario Parties of old, all the way up to the modern games like Mario Party 1, all the way up to Superstars as of now. Although mind you, this was in 2011, because up until this point, Mario Party 9 is approaching until 2012, but I have no idea where I bring that up from. And also we got Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which is an alright choice, except for this ugly redesign of Banjo and Kazooie. I prefer the classics. And also we got Super Street Fighter 4, the Xbox 360 version, which is a bit redundant to able to have 2 versions of the same game, aside from the fact that, well, you know what I mean. But the biggest highlight for me though is definitely Sonic Generations for the Xbox 360, because oh man, I was really looking forward to playing that game. And also out of nowhere we've got ourselves Wii Play Motion, which not only because we actually got the game itself, but also the cool thing about this is that it comes with the red Wii Remote with the Motion Plus built into it, which it does reminds me of like a Mario Wii Remote. And speaking of excellent choices for the gifts that we've got during that year, we have Kirby's Return to Dreamland, aka Kirby's Adventure Wii. And oh man, I was very glad to have this, because it gets a bit skyrocketing though in the later years to come. And also, the greatest highlights for the 3DS department, we have Sonic Generations for the 3DS, same thing as the console version really. And the greatest one out of them all though is Super Mario 3D Land, because whoever needs this particular game at some point during Christmas time back in 10 years ago, which is really great back in the day. And of course, we can never forget the forms of another Mario game that we've got is Mario Kart 7. Despite obscure the character roster is, but it's a really great time to have Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS, which is, I guess, is like a good thing. And the final gift we have is Sonic Adventure 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, which not only does it contain the final version of Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast, but get this, I also got with the trial disc as well, which is really cool and amazing. But oh no, despite it's a bit outdated compared to the Forms of the Future installments, I think this installment is okay. Like, nothing good, but hey, at least it's a good start when it comes to the forms of those really cool Christmas special videos until in the future. So here we are now onto the top 5 of the Forms of the Christmas ranking video. And next up we have is Christmas 2016 Unboxing Special. Now I have to admit though right away, this particular special is really good. Like, nothing very great, or anything else to be more specifically, it is good enough. Like, first of all, the intro sequence is a little bit different than we expect when it comes to Christmas Unboxing Special. It's the fact that White Teddy has been super lazy throughout the majority of the day, while meanwhile for Mario as well as Princess Peach managed to double check on White Teddy to see how she was getting on. And also a cool twist is the fact that we reveals the really ugly intro, which thankfully we've got replaced by a pretty cool intro sequence as well as a montage which features not only, you know, Mario and Peach, but also Toad, Piglet, Rarity, Sonic, and of course Toadette. So the actual montage is pretty alright, but nothing spectacular or amazing compared to the future installments, but at the very least the quality is a massive step up from the likes of how it does it from the likes of not only for 2013 for occasional moments, but also 2014 and 15. As far as the gifts department though, we haven't got that much, mainly because of one thing, and that's what it appears to be we got ourselves the PlayStation 4 due to the forms of the Kingdom Hearts compilation games upcoming. And also we got Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS, which is a bit of a the weaker version of Mario Maker 1, and the worst film ever, which is of course Ice Age 5 Collusion Course, which we have no idea why we've got this to begin with. But aside from that, the only interesting gift that we've got is Shovel Knight, which we've heard of, but unfortunately we didn't play it as much as we were used to. But another gift that we actually sort of got, which is a pretty cool thing, we have the Super Mario Adventures comic book, which not only does it contain some variety of pages to able to interact, but also I really love the actual art style with the actual comic book itself, but also it actually contains a bit of a well, interesting dialogue for the certain characters as well as certain jokes and Wario's appearance in the last page. And lastly, we have this very interesting obscure Magic 8 Ball because of the Toy Story reference, which, you know, back in the day is pretty cool as far as when you get the hang of this though. Especially noticeable that every now and then there are so many versions of the Magic 8 Ball you know, for the sake of the Forms of the Future years due time. But as a result though, it's a nice little gift to have, like, not only for the sake of trying to referencing Toy Story, but also just able to actually have this for some distractions, I suppose, for the sake of, like, you know what I mean, back in the day. The picture image on the intro sequence is actually rather nice. And the only problem I have with this particular special compared to the other rankings on the list though is that, much like the forms of the previous installments, the camera angle is way awkward, even way more awkwarder than the likes of how it does it on any other installments. But apart from those aside of those glaring issues, this particular installment of the Christmas video is actually good. Like, not great, but it's certainly damn good. So aside from all that stuff though, is the fact that everything else, expecting to believe about the fact that what the actual things itself to become, especially noticeable every now and then, unlike the future installments, we're about to get even more presents and more gifts, but this is one of the shortest amounts that we can ever get in this installment. And now we go on to number 4 on the list. We have ourselves Christmas 2018 Unboxing Special. Now this particular episode, variation of this Christmas special, is really great. Like, it starts off a little bit more interesting because rather than a traditional style of Christmas decorating montage, instead they start things off as in Mario and Sonic are about to compete against each other from the likes of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which every now and then it becomes a lot more popular thanks to forms of before the DLC arrives. But also we got ourselves some very interesting cast of characters here and now as well. But of course White Teddy, this time around he decorates the entire Christmas tree all by her own. And also during that, after that particular discussion about the fact that they're about to start to set up the actual Christmas usual setup. And also this is the first installment where it comes to the Christmas unboxing special, it takes place in a different environment. So aside from that, there are some interesting cast of characters like Buzz Lightyear, Woody, alongside with Jessie, Starlight Glimmer, Kirby, and the returning Joy from Inside Out. And of course, we can never forget Mega Man and Proto Man for the first time ever in one video throughout the majority of the TheMaxiToys, while the channel update does not count. Speaking of gifts though, we got some very interesting but also very great gifts. Well, aside from the fact that there's no Mario and Sonic items, but that's besides the point. So we got ourselves 2 Mega Man remakes games, so like for instance we have Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, a remake of Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. And also we've got Mega Man Powered Up, a remake of Mega Man 1 back on the NES days, which is really valuable back in the day. And also we got Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is a really cool gift to have, especially noticeable that was on the Switch now, so I guess that's a huge plus. And also we got The Simpsons game, which because we actually got the majority of the Simpsons games on the Nintendo console, so I thought I'll also include that. And also we got Okami Den, a really great sequel to the original Okami for the Wii, this time on the DS, and much like the forms of one of those Christmas presents back in the past, this is the American copy as you can see. And finally we got ourselves a very cool neon yellow Joy-Con pair controllers, just in case for Joy-Con drifting problem. But I have to admit it though, whenever we open that thing up, it feels a bit weird at first, but it's actually pretty cool aesthetically. So yeah, I've basically gathered a multicolored Joy-Cons basically. So aside from all that stuff though, the actual picture intro is actually really rather nice. And on top of that is the fact that thankfully though, the actual lighting is somewhat feels a bit more, well, balanced as far as this is concerned, aside from the beginning lighting. But apart from that, this particular special is great, especially noticeable that we actually get ourselves a huge cast of characters and they managed able to get a lot of inter-reactions this time around compared to the past few bottom parts of the list. So yeah, this is a massive step up from the likes of how it does it from the bottom 5, but nothing compares to the forms of how it does it on the top 3 though. So speaking of the top 3, who deserves to get the bronze medal, the silver medal, and the gold medal with all these specific lists. So yeah, for 2018, it's a really great special. So yeah, there's not much else to it. It's just so great. For the sake of the list alone, the bronze medal reward goes to the Forms of Christmas 2019 unboxing special. Despite the fact that this is one of the second longest Christmas videos we've ever done, next to the Forms of 2017 counterpart, but it does have some very interesting great choices this time around. Like for instance, the returning cast of characters, but in addition to some new ones, mainly the Forms of Tiana Frog version, but also we got Jewel and Blue for the first time ever in a Christmas video, and also we got Shadow the Hedgehog and Silver the Hedgehog, and of course the returning characters like Mario and Peach, Rainbow Dash and Applejack, and of course Mario and Sonic. So as a result though, yeah, this is actually a really great cast of characters, unlike the forms of how it does it on the previous lists somewhere. So yeah, and as always, that White Teddy did manage to do a traditional style of like, well, you know what I mean, decorating a tree, which is to be expected for most intro sequences of any other Christmas stuff out there. But this time, this is actually the final time she's ever gonna do this before 2020 rolls around, that she is now gonna be departing as she's gonna be in part of death. And also, ever since in 2016, Mario and Peach are reunited each other again since 2016. For gifts department, it's really awesome, especially noticeable that we actually got the returning Mario and Sonic items, but before we get into those, we have ourselves a good compilation game, Disney Classic Games, Aladdin and the Lion King, a pretty cool compilation back then, minus there are some missing versions out there for Aladdin's case. And also we got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 for the Nintendo Switch, just for the sake of countdown of Tokyo 2021 Olympic Games and stuff like that, for that matter. And also we got ourselves a pretty interesting handheld, Geo Pocket Color. I was expecting to get this color, but instead we actually got ourselves the stone blue color, which it doesn't bother me at all. It's basically the same system, but I prefer blue over a bit more than any other colors. And also, the reason I managed to got this is because of that amazing Sonic game on the system, Sonic Pocket Adventure, which is a really great Sonic game indeed, because it's basically Sonic 2 again, but on handheld. And also we got ourselves the AV to HDMI splitter converter thing for the sake of capture card recordings for retro gaming. And speaking of retro gaming, we have ourselves the Mega Drive Classic Mini, which is kind of like the same thing as the Super Nintendo Mini, but in addition to include 2 controllers, just like the Super Nintendo version, but also we got ourselves 40 classic games, plus 2 that never saw light of day, which is really awesome and it's quite big. And look at this thing, it's so cute when you're trying to open it up, it looks so adorable. And aside from that, we got Big Hero 6, which is okay, but not my favorite Disney film. And of course, the main highlight for this particular year for that particular gifts department, we have the amazing Game Boy Player, which allows us to able to play a multitude of Game Boy games. And also, it comes with the startup disc, and of course, the actual device itself attached to the forms of underneath the GameCube. So, yeah, we can basically just play any Game Boy original games, Game Boy Color games, as well as Game Boy Advance games on a big TV, so it just makes it a little bit more nicer, and also at the same time, this thing is a lot taller. Another great highlight is the reference of Wallace and Gromit for the sake of BBC Two Island. And of course, the actual picture image on the intro is magnificent. So yeah, not much else to say when it comes to forms of, well, 2019 Christmas special video. Well, apart from that one interesting plot twist, and that's what it appears to be about the fact that White Teddy does have shared everyone's a bit of bad unfortunate news, that something is about to be happening, and that's the forms of how, you know, White Teddy just managed able to suffocate it by the forms of not only heart conditions, but of course you know what. So overall, this installment is really great, especially noticeable. This feels like kind of like the same thing as in 2018, but slightly a bit better, mainly due to the fact that we got any other, well, Mario and Sonic items, as well as from that 2 new systems, which is pretty cool and awesome at the same time, because, well, I love the Mega Drive so much, as well as the forms of trying out the Neo Geo Pocket Color for the first time in hands. So yeah, that's pretty much as far as we can noticing this for the sake of 2019 installment. It's a great entry in the series, or in this case the greatest installment of this entire Christmas series. So yeah, that's pretty much as far as we can noticing this for the sake of time. It's just great. And that's how this particular special deserves to be able to have the bronze medal. Well, only 2 specials left, so silver medal goes to Christmas 2013 unboxing special. Now, I know it's very similar in structure-wise compared to the forms of how it does it in 2014 and 15, but I have to admit it though, the 2013 counterpart of this particular intro alone, I think to me is a bit superior, mainly because it did something a little bit more differently as opposed to that particular very short and quick and simple intro compared to the forms of how it does it in 2011, and a very terrible rushed one for the sake of 2012's case. But the intro sequence is actually pretty spot on, especially noticeable they managed to able to let not only Daffy Duck manage to get into the actual intro sequence along with White Teddy, but also Kamek and adorable Fluttershy. Managed to able to get high into the center hats, of course. So, but the biggest highlight for this particular special for me though is the true definition of not only for the sake of the forms of how the fact that the actual quality is bumped up to the greatest qualities, but also the greatest, I mean greatest amount of gifts, ranging from the majority of Wii U stuff, and also occasional DVDs and other accessories. So of course, first off that we actually got is the forms of the Nintendo Points card, which we did manage to use this for the sake of the 3DS, for trying out more Game Boy stuff. And also we got Wii Party U, which is okay for the actual game for its time, but it's nice to have it, I suppose, along with the spare Wii Remote, along with the Wii Motion Plus peripheral inside of it. Speaking of that though, I have also got the very, very cool Luigi themed Wii Remote. I mean, look at this. This is so awesome looking. Especially if you're the Mario fan or Luigi fan. And also, speaking of Mario, we have Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, nothing special there. And also we got Monsters University, a pretty cool prequel to the forms of Monsters Inc. film that we all know and love. And of course, one of the greatest games of all time, which appears to be Rayman Legends for the Nintendo Wii U. Speak for itself, this game is amazing by the way. And also we got ourselves the amazing film back in 2012, we have Skyfall, the James Bond film that I was a huge fan of, especially noticeable I was a die-hard back in the day. And of course, the biggest highlight for this particular year's gifts department, we have Super Mario 3D World for the Nintendo Wii U. Most people are very skeptical about it back in the day, ever since in E3 2013, but more people seem to own Super Mario 3D World for a very, very good reason, with all its unique level themes, and also just have a bit of fun playing co-op with like local play and stuff like that, with either the Wii Remote or even the Wii U Pro controller and the Wii Remote and Nunchuck combo, but it's just possibilities were endless for Super Mario 3D World. And of course they mentioned something related to having fun in Christmas time, and there's some questionable stuff here and there, like the title image is okay, and at the very least, the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games Christmas tree reference is pretty cool. But let's not forget to mention about the forms of the Mario Advent Calendar, which I think is awesome, but I'm not a big fan of the actual chocolate's taste, because I'm not a big fan of that particular BBB company, whatever that thing is. And also, let's not forget about the forms of how the fact that, well, there's that one annoying thing about this particular special, and that is the fact that the internet connection sucks though. But apart from those side of things though, this particular special is awesome, especially noticeable about the fact that although sure the quality wasn't really up there compared to the forms of how it does it on the forms of how it does it on the later installments, but there was that one particular Christmas special that I'm always a huge fan of, especially noticeable that I think, personally speaking, it will be my all-time favorite Christmas video of all time, not just for the sake of the forms of how different it was, but also, well. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'll deserve a gold medal to the likes of Christmas 2017 unboxing special. Everything about this particular episode of this, to me, is perfect. Like, for starters, the intro sequence is a lot more different than the other installments, and also the majority of the characters is a lot different this time around. Rather than mixing between male characters and female characters, we have the majority of female characters, ranging from Princess Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Princess Twilight Sparkle, Pinkie Pie, the majority of the Powerpuff Girls, both Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, but also, as usual, we have the White Teddy to able to bring into the Christmas fest. So yeah, this is actually pretty cool for starters, and also for the first time ever that we actually see the proper Christmas tree in action. And also, I must admit, I really love this entire montage, especially noticeable about the fact that those girls, including White Teddy, are preparing for the actual proper Christmas montage decoration, ranging from the tree to the entire room, and of course, well, Christmas-themed music, and of course, pretty much everything. And I really love the fact that, well, basically, most of those characters feels a little bit more organized for the sake of likely just about to be preparing for what's to come, for the sake of likely for Christmas joys. And also what's interesting and adorable at the same time, that Pinkie Pie is wearing a Lindt chocolate bells strapped into the actual neck, which is adorable. And the majority of everything else about this particular installment, like I said, is perfect. Well, let's not get to the point that the reason why this particular special to me is perfect. But let's not forget ourselves for this point. We have a massive amount of gifts, ranging from 3 Nintendo Switch stuff, which is the introduction parts of the time, to Nintendo 3DS games, and of course we can never forget the amazing Wii game, and of course PlayStation stuff, and not just for one console we've got, but 2 consoles, much like 2019. So for the 3DS we have Kirby Battle Royale, which is pretty cool. Mario Party the Top 100, which is pretty cool in concept, but I'm glad this is actually pushed forward. And of course we can never forget Pokken Tournament DX, the superior version over the likes of the Wii U version. Fire Emblem Warriors, basically the Fire Emblem version of Hyrule Warriors. Sonic Forces for the Nintendo Switch, so I can play the game on the go, despite the fact that I found the game alright. Okami for the Wii, one of the greatest games ever on the Wii. No wonder why that game gets re-released multiple times on multiple generations to come on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and the Switch. And also we got Dragon Ball Z Infinite World, aka Dragon Ball Z Budokai 4, just mainly because it's basically the same thing as the other 3. And of course the Super Monkey Ball game, Super Monkey Ball Banana Splits, because we actually got ourselves the handheld device, but also we got ourselves Super Mario Calendar 2018 version. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we got this very cool PlayStation Vita, despite it doesn't sell well and it's used. And also the biggest highlight for me though is the Super Nintendo Classic Mini, which not only features 20 games but also an extra game as well. I mean, look at this, it's so cute. And same applies to those 2 game cartridges are the same size. And also the photo right there is perfect, and it looks cozy to boot. So overall, Christmas 2017 installment is without a doubt one of my favorite Christmas special unboxing video special of all time, especially noticeable I can instantly manage to rewatch this every time. And so there you have it, folks, that we've actually ranked all 10 of those, well, the TheMaxiToys Christmas video specials. So, yeah, despite the fact that our list wasn't exactly all that impressive to me though, I mean, usually relatively speaking, it's just the fact that with our views count has actually gone a bit, a massive difference throughout the years. So, yeah, I think I might as well say for this point for the best, aren't I right? Yeah, that's probably true, Pac-Man, my cool dude right here. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much about it for, the actual ranked itself. Yeah, I was thought about the same thing as well, so just add things a bit differently. Yep, same here. And me. So, with that being said, I think that we are done with the Christmas 2021 special video. Which, you know, different variety for a change for the sake of this year, like we said this several times already. So, yeah, that's pretty much as far as this is concerning with. Hey guys, and Trixie, how's the list go? I have to admit it though, the list is actually a lot harder than it looks. Well, yeah, I was thinking of the same thing as well, but regardless of such, we got some goodies and presents. Oh. What presents do we get for this year? Mind you that the unboxing video is not gonna happen, like I said. Well, those are, well, a special the special gift that we will probably save it up in a later day, and also Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness on the PlayStation 1. Oh, sweet. I can able to actually play the next Pac-Man game on the PlayStation in the future. Yeah, after dealing with the whole entire Pac-Man World Trilogy at long last. And what else is there, Starlight Glimmer? There is Burnout Paradise Remastered. Oh, sweet. I can able to do some car destruction thing on the go, and even some cool racing as well. Yeah, that seems kind of true. And also, they'll get ourselves the No Time to Die DVD, the James Bond film. Oh, that would be wicked and awesome. Yeah, I know that. And also, say applies to Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble. Oh, that'll be great, even though despite the fact that I wasn't playable in the game, but regardless of such, I can able to actually instantly play the game on the go. Well, mind you though, Mighty, is the fact that our Game Gear is still a little bit bust. Oh, right, due to, what now? The lack of audio, especially noticeable, the compactor has been almost damaged. Oh, yeah, that's the only common problem with the Game Gear every now and then. But, on the other hand, we also managed to get ourselves the Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes on the 3DS again, but this time in a bit of a cheaper price. Okay, because obviously we really desperately want to go back onto Zelda stuff before The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is on the horizon until next year. Yeah, in fact, we can't wait to see how 2022 actually holds up on 2. Yeah, but that'll be for a later day. But, what can we do now? How about this? How about if you guys want to celebrate the Christmas songs, Glory? On second thought, we'll pass. How about watching My Little Pony, Best Gift Ever special? Yeah, absolutely, my great and powerful assistant. Yep, you always keep calling me that. So I'll put the film up, and yep, I should probably just do that right now. Oh, sweet! I can't wait able to watch this amazing Christmas special. Yep, same here. Yep, same here as well. Oh, that would be great, even though we barely shown up on screen, both me and Starlight Glimmer, but that's okay. Yep, same here. Yep, I think we should probably get to it, so, oh, and by the way, thank you guys so much for watching for this entire different Christmas video for a change, and, hopefully, by that time until, tomorrow, stay tuned for the final Let's Play on 2021, but I can't tell you what that is, so stay tuned until, well, if you guys are still watching the TheMaxiToys channel, as you guys are probably used to at this point, and, yeah, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel, and smash that like button for me or for us. So, I appreciate it. So, anyways, let's enjoy this film, shall we?